All right, have and have not fans, the clock is ticking. We are less than 48, well, excuse me, huh. We're we're less than 30 hours away from the haves and the have-nots at the recording of this video. You know the drill. Hit that subscribe button, bell notification icon so you don't miss out any new content. But we're talking about the big bad Malone family, and based off the exclusive look sponsored by Ford that we got last week, it looks like the Malones ain't playing around. A big question, you know, I've spoken with Chandler, Live Money, Tyler Perry crew, as well as various other people on Instagram and Twitter about, is the fact that we haven't seen Mama Rose yet, or Mama Rosa. On IMDb, you know, I think the original Mama Rose is titled Mama Rose, but then her replacement actress is Mama Rosa. I don't know. I'm going to call her Mama Rose because that's how I know it best. R-O-S-E. If I'm wrong, but darn it, that's what I'm going to say. Well, basically, I think that's a good thing because I remember back when they introduced the new Mama Rose, she was in the trailer briefly, and then she popped up in like the second or first episode of you know that part of the season, and it was very surprising and left one hell of a first impression. So I'm going to be honest now, even though I'm dying, no pun intended, to see Mama Rose on the haves and have-nots again, I'm not against seeing more of Mitch's family, some of the more higher ranking Malones, not just the members of the family that are like I wouldn't say like the pawns, but I'll just say like lower ranking Malones. I really like to see that. We got Mama Rose, who is the quote-unquote godfather or godmother of the operation, but then you have people right under her, and then you have people trickling down, pretty much like a totem pole, so to speak. But basically, I'm really looking forward to seeing what the Malones are going to be doing, because it looks like the big guy that's punching Justin in the face and going to be put in the same cell as Wyatt is a Malone. Then we got the two guys following Benny around. Then he slams one of them in, he slams one of their heads through a car window. And Mitch is like, my family's after you, don't go home. And we even, somebody was telling me that Don Malone was the name of the guy that Mitch was talking to in the trailer there with the silver hair. Somebody told me he was in an episode before. My gosh, I forgot. Dang it. I mean, or at least mention. But I am interested to know what he's going to say. Maybe he's going to get word about what happened, that it was actually Wyatt Cryer that did it, and then they'll talk about what was up with Benny, what's going to happen with him. Because really, aside from the whole money thing, I don't know why the Malones are after Benny. And if anything, they shouldn't really be after him, because remember, he has 6 months to make that first payment of $18,000, and there's supposed to be 3 installments of $18,000, 3 times every 6 months. So really, they have no reason to go after him unless they're still under the impression he did it, but then the truth comes out. Maybe Mitch is the one that finds out that Wyatt Cryer got arrested, goes to his family to let them know, hey, it wasn't Benny, or AKA as you call him, the black kid, so just leave him alone. Wyatt Cryer is the one you should be going after. Maybe he does that. I don't know. We'll just have to wait and see. But we had the Malones going after Benny, possibly Wyatt, maybe Jim. I don't know. It looks like Jim is going to have his hands full with other things. I mean, his wife is going to be messing around with Broderick, so you know he's going to be mad at that. So, yeah. It doesn't look good. I mean, I'm glad we're going to see some Malone action. I really want to see Mama Rose, but at the same time, I love the fact that we're getting some real build up to the Malones being threats. Like, we know they are threatening, but we really haven't seen the Malones put into the main storyline. Like, we've had them as reoccurring characters and the hired muscle, but what happens when the Malones themselves become like the big bads of a season? That's what I really want to see, and it looks like we're actually going to get that. So no matter how bad Candace thinks she is, or how cunning and I guess you could say irresistible Jim think he is, and the connections that Veronica has, you have to admit it's one of those situations where the Malones are going to overtake them all. But here's one big question. Do you think there'll ever be a point in the haves and have-nots where all of these, the haves and the have-nots, have to combine forces in order to fight against the Malones? That would be very interesting if the likes of Veronica and Candace and Hannah and Catherine and Jim and you know, Jeffrey, like all of them, and David, all of them have to join forces in order to combat the Malones. No guarantee who will come out on top, but I would find it very, very interesting. I mean, to me, hell, that's a Tyler Perry, if you're listening, or if anybody from the show is listening, Oscar, aka Vinny Malone, if you're listening, First of all, thank you for joining in. Thanks for the autograph. But also, see if you could pitch that to Tyler Perry. I would love to see the Malones up against the haves and the have-nots together. That would be awesome. That would be awesome. Like, I'm not saying everybody's going to be hunky-dory and giving hugs, high five, kissing each other on the cheek at the end of it. It's just like they come together for a common purpose to survive. For any geeks out there like me, Dragon Ball Z, when Vegeta was on planet Namek, he teamed up with Gohan and Krillin in order to fight the Ginyu Force and Frieza. No, not friends by any stretch of the imagination. They're enemies, but they came together to fight a common enemy that's bigger than all of them, you know, put together. I mean, separated, so they came together as one force. So yeah, it's very interesting. So let me know your thoughts in the comment section below, and yeah, try to get this video around. I'm not just saying that for the views or for the channel, but I think Tyler Perry could do something with that idea. I like it. I like it a lot.